So for relative paths, anything that I say that starts without any sort of a path is a relative path to the current directory, and we can find out what our current directory is with pwd. So I could say 7 star, or I could say echo 7 star, and I could get a list of what those are. I can edit them, and this is going to produce a somewhat undesirable result because there's that PNG file, which is a binary file. It looks something like that. That's not very pleasant. But if I go to the next one, we'll find out that that SVG file, that's a graphics file, actually turns out to be text. And it's in a text in a very specific format called XML. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. It's got polygons, but we could edit this in VI. That previous one, I don't think we'll edit it in VI. And if I say ls./7 star, the dot means the current directory and everything in it. I'll see those things. If I do ls dot dot, that's one directory up. These are all relative paths. If I go up 2 directories, I can find stuff up there. Okay. So I can reference things that are 2 directories up. For instance, I can edit some file that is 2 directories up from my current location. I can do relative paths that go up and down. For instance, I can find out what's in the directory mcrun 2 levels up from my current directory. So I have the ability to access everything relative to my current position as opposed to absolute paths. Now the top of the directory tree starts with a slash, and I mentioned that there's a directory temp, which is at the top. In fact, if we do ls/ on a Unix system, we're going to see that there are things like applications and libraries on a Macintosh, and these directories like bin and user. So there are many different ways of accessing the files and your paths, but usually you're talking relative or absolute. The other thing that very often happens is the shell will replace a tilde with your home directory. Your home directory is your top directory where you log in, and usually there is a directory called desktop. Desktop is the one that has your current desktop, like it has a directory in it called pictures. I'll move that over here for a second. A folder called pictures, and you'll see that right there when I do ls, there is pictures. So when you create things on the desktop, you're actually using the tilde/desktop or the home user's desktop on a Mac. On a Windows system, quite often it is C users and your username, whatever that is. C:\/ users / your username that you logged in with. You'll notice that lots of applications that are GUI applications create things that have blanks in the file name. I think blanks are an evil thing. They're generally bad. There are plenty of applications out there that just simply will not tolerate blanks in file names at all. So I tend to take them out. For instance, I use a program called Blender that does 3D rendering of images for certain stuff. It doesn't deal with blanks in file names at all. Nor will it necessarily deal with blanks in path names, as in directories with blanks in it. So this is because lots of stuff in the world of the command line doesn't deal well with blanks. If I do make dir my stuff and I do an ls, oh, I see my stuff, but if I do an ls-l, you'll see I've created the directory my and stuff. Blanks are separators to the command line, and it wants to access it in that way. If you want to create the directory my stuff with a blank in it, you'd have to do make dir my stuff. Now the mystery here is what is between my and stuff there. There's actually 2 blanks, but suppose we did this. Ooh, a directory like that, very difficult to do. And we can also do this. Oh boy, we have a directory named space now. The other one that is often a problem with file names is things that start with a minus sign. It's an illegal option here, but I can go in and create this with the Finder, and then I can muck up all of my ls commands forever afterwards with the Finder with a -a directory. A very irritating thing. Lots of virus software wants to create directories and files like this, so that it can hide in the file system where you can't see it and you can't do things about it easily. Let's talk about file extensions. This seems to be something that just causes people in this class trouble.